In this video, I'm going to summarize, just demonstrate some quick features of Chrome. If you press Shift Escape, looking for that on the keyboard, Shift Escape, and you have Chrome open, it'll bring up this Task Manager. Let me just demonstrate that using the onboard keyboard. And this is nice if you have a million tabs open. It's actually good to have a lot of tabs open because sometimes you'll see a story and it's good to verify it. It's called horizontal scrolling instead of just vertical scrolling, because when you're Facebook news feed or whatever, you tend to just see what the website wants you to see, and it's good to look it up in a separate tab. So, for example, if I'm in Wikipedia and I Google Maxwell's equations, and I'm interested in who James Clerk Maxwell was, I can open that in a new tab. Speaking of opening things in a new tab, I can press Control to open that in a new tab without having to right-click every time. And then I can press Control-Tab to go through the tabs, and then Control-Shift-Tab to move back and forth. Anyways, back to Shift Escape. So I can look at all these things. So I can look at the different tasks, and it'll sort them. So it has all the utilities together. I think this even goes into stuff that isn't in Chrome, which is nice. And it shows the memory footprint. It shows you the name, the icon of the app. So, and then it shows you what it's doing, how it's impacting your CPU, your net, then how much it's network bandwidth. I'm not sure what this process ID is. That's probably something dealing with the internal data process, like the hard code of the computer. Let's see what happens if I right click. So I can unclick task. Let's make sure you see that. Profile, CPU time. Yeah, so I guess this would be like if you have multiple users or something, or multiple Chrome accounts at the same time. Start time. So you can look at the start time. JIT handles. I'm not quite sure what that is. Let me. Looks like it has something to do with RAM and graphics objects. User handles. Image cache. So cache is used, so it's kind of like when you get to know someone well, you don't have to, you can kind of catch up quicker than if you're just meeting someone for the first time. And so the cache works by, instead of having to ask someone several times, what's your name? Or like when you're first learning someone's name, the cache keeps data that's stored many times and it reloads it. This can be beneficial in other cases. You might need to clear the cache. If you want to reload a page and clear the cache, you can press Control Shift F5. Anyways, just a quick interruption there. So see, if I want to reload, I can press Control R and that'll reload the page. You see this reload button here. And then if let's just make it really clear by reloading YouTube. So if and then if I reload YouTube, it might have slightly different results. So that proves it's different. But if I press Control Shift, oh yeah, I'm not quite sure what the, somehow it's like F5. And all these shortcuts can actually be viewed at this site. I will post it in the description. Chrome shortcuts. There's this great site, Shortcut World, and it has Control plus F5. So just to demonstrate that on YouTube, maybe I have some data on YouTube with my browsing history. I find the browsing history very helpful. So this is where I learned most of these shortcuts. Let's go through them. So manage tabs, if I want to quickly open a new tab, Google. Chrome shortcuts. For example, I can do that. Go back. Control Shift T, I can reopen closed tab, recently closed tabs. Control W will close the tab. Or Control plus F4. Control 1 through. You can also press Control and hold down to get like the spotlight feature. Kind of darkens the rest of the screen. I'm not sure if that'll show up in the screen recording or not. If I do Control 1, I'll go to the first tab. If I want to go to the third tab, Control 4. And this will go all the way up to 8. So let me just open up some tabs real quick. And if I go to Control 1, and then Control 9 will just automatically go to the last tab. It doesn't matter how many I have open. So if I do Control 9, even though this isn't the 9th tab, it just goes to the end automatically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't go to here, it goes to the end. It does go to 8, goes to 8. So like Control 8 would go to there, but Control 9 just jumps to the end. So I'm going to close those extra tabs. Don't need them. And this is helpful if you spend most of your time in the browser. So Control Tab, if you want to open a new window, it's Control N. If you want to open a new incognito window, Control Shift N. Close the current window. So let's open a new incognito window and that. Whoops. Let's do Control W, Control W. It's Control Shift W. So if I open two incognito tabs, and just to make this clear, let me open two. So I just load some common sites, and then if I do Control Shift W, it closes the current window. I didn't have to close each tab individually. And then if I want, apparently there's a difference between a background tab and a foreground tab, but you shouldn't, that's not really relevant unless you have like old tabs that haven't really been opened recently. Now there is this feature to download the link by Alt left click, so if I hold Alt left click, it'll just immediately download it, as opposed to going to here and clicking download. It's much quicker to just press Alt. Now all these, when I say Alt and Control, basically, depending on your keyboard layout, you have the Windows key, the function key. Back to here. So if I want to maybe search for incognito window, what does that mean? I can right click and do search Google for, and then I can do a shift right click on I meant to spell Maxwell, not Max. Maybe do. So if I do that normally, it would do that, but if I think the right click menu is different. Wait. Okay, so let's compare that right click menu with no shift to shift plus control plus click on search. Okay, so it looks like control opens it in a new window, whereas shift opens it in a new window, whereas control opens it in a new tab. So depending on whether you want to open a new window or a new tab. You can also drag a link. So for example, if I want to drag this link, it'll just open it like that. I can also drag a link to a, so if I go to the bottom where the sources are, I can just press the home button or the end button and take one of these links. Let's take a DOI. Okay, this direct object link is not loading for some reason. You can also group tabs. So I can add tab to new group. I can make this one orange. Maybe I want to make the Wikipedia articles green or purple. And so that makes it easy to see what you're doing. So, and then if I want to select multiple tabs, let's open some more Wikipedia articles for some examples. Say I have this article on New York City, and we can say I want to select the article on New York City and the European Union, so I can control and select both of these at once, and then I can group them to new group, regions, and I'll make that yellow. And then maybe I want to make one for scientists and mathematicians, so I can shift and select all the ones in the middle. So I didn't individually click this, and I can even press control and combine shift and control, and I can deselect by redoing it. So say I want to maybe select all of these, and I will add those to a new group. And that's a common shortcut. You can also use that in File Explorer if you have a long list of tabs, a long list of files. Say I have this, I can do Shift. Okay, so it may not work if it's on the folder level, but if I do that, it'll just do that. Or if I just want to select like different ones, and then I might be able, yeah, you can combine it. So that's helpful to know. If I want to set the focus to the address bar, maybe I want to just jump to the address bar. So I can jump to the address bar and search Wikipedia space Wolfram Alpha. Shift Alt T will focus on the tab bar, toolbar, control. You can also zoom using control on the mouse wheel, and say I zoom out and it's way too small, I can do control 0 to return it to normal size. I can press control U, and that'll show me the HTML for people who are interested in developer stuff. I can turn, so maybe I'm on YouTube and I want to turn full screen on or off, so just open a video.
Picture the crazy.
And I press F, that'll full screen it, unscreen. By the way, if you're watching a YouTube video
Wildest roller coaster ride.
And you want to rewind, you can press J and rewind 10 seconds, and L to fast forward 10 seconds, and then period if you want to go by frame. Question mark will show you. can also sometimes select all the content on the web page. The problem with that is it selects everything, and that can be kind of overwhelming. So you can print the web page. Sometimes you can save this as a PDF. I don't really recommend saving as a PDF because it's very static. There's no way to attach dynamic content. You can open the Downloads tab, Control J, Control H, open Chrome History. Let's go back to where we were. I think that's Control 5, so it's Control 4. So when I'm like all at the end, I can just press Control 4 and jump back directly to there. I can enter the clear history options by pressing Control Shift Delete. This is similar to the. I'm not going to do that, but I don't know. Maybe I don't really recommend doing that. Control Shift B shows the bookmark. There goes my bookmarks bar. Okay, so I'm like, let me see. Control Shift O, open Bookmark Manager, so I can go into here. Add bookmark. Now I already have a bookmark, but I can edit it. So maybe I want to just do Google, just Chrome shortcuts. And you can, the Bookmark Manager allows you to create folders to different bookmarks. So I have one for news sites. I have one for math, etc. And that's better than having like a ton of bookmarks that you aren't really organized. Control Shift I will open developer tools. Now this you don't really need to know, but if you're going to be maybe while that's loading, I'm just going to go to Control 4 and open the General Settings dialog. Control F is also very helpful. I can search, so maybe I want to look for something on cache. I can do that. So I hope that was helpful about Chrome. I'm planning to do more on the bookmarks bar and cover more in depth, but for now I'm going to leave it there. The video is 17 minutes. Hopefully that was helpful. I hope you have a good